Hey guys, welcome back to OK Jank. I'm bringing you an updated Genesis deck profile for Cardfight Vanguard standard format. I've just got the new stuff from the Astral Forces arrived today, so I thought I'd show you one of the decks that I've been contemplating building and running with it. Unfortunately, I'm still in isolation, so it's it'll be a while it looks until I get to actually play test it, but I thought I'd bring you the deck profile anyway. So to start, pan of new style, when road 1, draw a card, nice simple. Then gonna have for Valkyrion, I've said previously to people I would only ever run him as a 3, but in this deck it works really well as run it as the 4 of, because you just want to go really aggro with this build, so you need to see him consistently, and 4 is the most consistent way of doing that. Then for Origin Date of Heavenly Lights Uranus, it's the new one. Doesn't have any ways of getting extra force markers, but has big payoffs for it potentially. So Vanguard, if your Vanguard circle has 3 or more force markers, Soul Blast 1 or more cards with the sum of their grades being 5 or greater, and your back row rearguard, centre rearguard becomes an astral plane until end of turn. So it's a nice way of getting your astral plane open early. And then Vanguard, once per turn, at the end of the battle, your astral deity attacked, rest 2 astral poets, stand 1 of your astral deities, and it gets drive -5 until end of turn. So you stand Valkyrian a number of times. That's the skill that we're aiming for in this build. So we then go obviously for the original Gleaming Lord Uranus. Vanguard, if it has 5 or more force markers, get an astral plane. Yeah, that's fine. Late game as well. And then when placed, you can Soul Blast 2 to get a force marker on your Vanguard circle. That's Vanguard Rearguard. So you want to call him as Rearguard initially, whilst you have the new one on. And then late game, you can ride him as Vanguard because you should have enough force markers, which is why we're also running 2 Astral Dragons, just because this is arguably the better grade 3 Vanguard for an Astral Planes deck, because it has ways of getting it, and it has draw power in it as well, with no downsides for when your opponent's board wipe. So the way the deck's built is to filter through to get all the Astral Poets and your Astral Deity Valkyrions out. So we're running 4 Decay of the Just Path, which is Vanguard Rearguard. When placed, you can put a card from your hand into Soul. You look at top 7 and reveal up to 2 Astral Poets. If you reveal and add them to your hand, and if you reveal 2, you get a gift force marker on your Vanguard. So it's a nice way of potentially getting an early force marker. Helps deck thin, helps get stuff into Soul, and just is all around beneficial for the build. Being able to pull 2 cards out that allow you to get the new skill to restand Valkyrian out and swing for big numbers. Then we've got 3 Deputized Bears. You don't want to run him as a 4 of, otherwise you'll see him too often, and he's not that great early, as he is late when your deck's a bit thinner and you've got more Valkyrians shuffled in, and you'll be pulling one out to keep re-riding. So run him as a 3, just so that you can keep getting Valkyrion fairly consistently. Then for Atlas of Heavenly Sphere, finding to be one of the best grade 1s in standard format for Astral Planes, and even in the Himiko build it's quite good, because it has a draw without needing anything. When placed, Soul Charge 1 on the Vanguard circle. This is the primary ride target other than Decay, because you don't really want to go into Deputized Bear, and the Soul Charge can hurt a little bit, but doesn't really matter all too much. But it's the putting it into Soul, drawing your card and getting a force marker that counts. Then onto the grade 2s. Phenomenus of the constellations, the best grade 2 that Genesis have had in a long time. I know I said that in the last set, the grade 2 was really good, and it was, from the trial deck, was really good, but this is arguably a lot better, because it has the card advantage of a draw just for having 3 force markers and a counter blast, and then when it attacks, this unit gets 5,000 power until end of turn for each force marker on your circles. That's really good. It's got so much potential in premium. I was watching another channel where they'd come up with a build similar, focusing on the Astral Poets and things, and restanding this a number of times, because its power gain is until end of turn, so if it attacks multiple times, it's just going to keep stacking that power on, because it's not once per turn, and it's an auto Vanguard rearguard, so if you have 3 force markers, it's gaining 15, and then when it restands to attack, it's gaining another 15, so it's plus 30, so it's a 40k by itself. That's only if your Vanguard circle's got the force markers, not including any that you might put on this. So it's got so much potential. I really do like this card. And then the other grade 2s, running 4th Battle Maiden Mitsuki. This is your primary ride target, just because your grade 2 ride target, because you want to be getting the force markers on your Vanguard, and the draw again is nice. So it keeps you in the game a little bit longer. So you want to rush to get your 3 grade 3 force markers, ride into the new Uranus, and then you just want to keep cycling your deck to keep getting the Astral Poets to keep restanding your Valkyrion, or getting just force marker advantage, and consistently see it. And then triggers, 4 heals, 4 draw PGs, and then 8 crits. Then that's the way the deck runs, is you just cycle through your deck consistently. Don't worry so much about guarding, because you'll have a lot of grade 3s in hand a lot of the time when I've been playtesting. However, you just play it aggressively, you should be fine. Not overly aggressive, obviously, but you need to know when to attack and when to not attack. But you can just often swing face at your opponent's Vanguard, and it will hit them for quite high numbers really early. So that's one of the builds. I will put together the other builds I was going to do, and I might have a look at some premium myself for it, with some of the new stuff. Has some really good potential. There's also some great support for Himiko and for Artemis, so I'll have a look at doing some of those builds with some of the new stuff incorporated as well. Until then, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.